Hello everyone. I'm gonna wait for some people to come back on live, and then I'm gonna start after that. But yeah, I have my notes down here, and I'm just gonna talk about how spirit can really help us in our awakening, and how they can help us become who we are, and stuff like that in general. And I think I have some notes here just to keep me on track a little bit. But yeah, if you do have any questions after or during, or comments after or during the after I talk, just put them down below, and I can see the comments on here, so that's pretty good. Hello Alana, hey Anya, Tenzin. But yeah, the energy's been really crazy lately, and I haven't been able to sleep very well recently, but it's getting a little bit better, like the past 2 days. But the day before that, I was like, I couldn't handle it. It was way too intense, but we'll see. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the path is not linear to where we need to go. It's never linear. It can go up and down and backwards and forwards and all kinds of stuff, and that's kind of the beauty of it a little bit. Just because, I mean, if you did go on a straight path, it probably wouldn't be that interesting or surprising or anything in that measure. But I really like I really like how you just constantly get surprised in this path of awakening, and it's really, really cool. It's almost like when you are not awake as much, like it's very, like you're kind of going along at a slower pace, you're just kind of tugging along, and it's kind of sucks, you know. You kind of know what's going to happen almost, like it's not very fun in general. But on this path of awakening, it's really intense. Like there's all kinds of stuff that happens, you having all these awakenings, and it's all different, and it's really cool. But it's awesome. Oh yeah, so I was going to talk about like how I used to go about my life, and or even when I first awakened, I didn't use my angels or my angelic team or my spirit guides to help me very much. They were just, you know, chilling out, and I was like, you know, I don't want to connect to anything because I don't know what I'm going to be connecting to, and I was kind of fearful and of spirit and such, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to connect to source, or the only thing I can connect to is source and stuff, and that was kind of limiting myself in many ways, I believe, and I was kind of living in fear a little bit, which is okay, but I think it's really important to like expand your horizons and, you know, experiment with different things. And what's really helped me is using my angelic team with, you know, and like they help bring so many different things in my life, and I think that's awesome. They even were beforehand, but I was just kind of like, you know, standing by, you know, kind of fearful a little bit. But once I asked them to start helping me, you know, it became more conscious for me. Like the heaviness inside my body and stuff would come out like easier when I would ask for it to be more like removed, and for it to come out, and for them to pull it out of me. Like, you know, having some trauma in my life, or so what, like in my heart chakra, and they would help pull that out of me. It will almost like feel like a pressure, like it kind of hurts, the heaviness, and it just kind of hurts when they're pulling it out for me. I don't know, it's a weird feeling, but it feels a lot better after they do it, you know. It's really cool. It's kind of weird. Like I would have to lay down on my bed or something when they would start pulling this trauma out of me, or heaviness, or just all the stuff that, like, well, before I was awakened, like the self-hatred and stuff, they would just pull it out of me, and I was like, is there something wrong with me? Why is my, like, heart chakra hurting so much? And, I mean, some people, it happens, they pull energy off their back, or different things like that, which is really cool. But for me, it's mainly throughout the heart chakra, because that's where I experienced most of my trauma, I guess you could say, or I'm a very emotional and empathetic person, so that's where I hold a lot of my, I guess, heaviness, yeah. But it's kind of cool. Hey, guys. But, yeah. I'm kind of losing track of myself right now. It's hard to get grounded these days. God. Oh, yeah. So, I was gonna say, like, once I chose to start loving myself, like, I was like, am I ready to love myself? Am I ready to believe in who I am? Am I ready to believe in the love within me? Like, that, whenever I made that decision, or like, I don't know what you call it, a decision or what, but like, whenever I made that decision, it really helped me, like, know to a path of where I was going to, sort of. Like, I was so, like, I didn't know where I wanted to go, and that's okay, but once I said, I want to love myself, I want to manifest more love in my life, I want to be love, and be who I truly am. Once I made that decision, my team, everyone got to work. Oh, this is the path he wants to go on. This is the path that they helped me become who I truly am. Before, I was just connecting to Source, and Source was helping me a lot, and I was like, I don't want to connect to anything else or this or that. But once I did that, they really helped propel me on a path that I really thought I needed to go on. And I think that's really where my soul wants to go, and that's why it felt so good to me to be able to go through that. Yeah, and then once I did make that decision, and it builds over time, this self-love, this self-confidence in myself. It keeps coming on, and it's pretty amazing. Like, it's probably the most amazing thing I've ever experienced, you know? Like, the beginning of my life, I'd never had experienced that. I've never even seen anyone that, like loved themselves truly, you know? And that's what it comes down to, I think. Sometimes you're never around people that really like themselves or are happy. So, like, how are you know how to be happy? How are you supposed to know how? And then once you make the decision, oh, I don't know where this is gonna lead me, but I feel like I want to love myself. And then, yeah, I'm just kind of tearing up a little bit. But then when I made that decision, it led me to people who really did like themselves or were happier, and that's what taught me the most, is being in an environment where there's more people that that love themselves. It's just really cool. Yeah, I never knew that was an actual thing. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But that's why it's easier. I feel like if you have someone else in your life or other people in your life, it's easier to love yourself, that accept you for you are, and that love themselves, you know? If you're around people that constantly don't really like themselves, it's hard to know what it is. But yeah, that's what's really cool. Yeah, it makes you a vibrational match once you start loving yourself. So, okay, I think I'm gonna start loving myself now. Oh, it's gonna attract other people around you that like themselves more or love themselves. And that's really cool. That vibration is just really powerful, and it can bring so many things into your life, and it makes life easier. Truly, it's a hard path to take sometimes, to accept that about yourself. Like, your ego wants to, you know, put you down a lot, but it's hard to go on this path sometimes. Like, it's pretty brave. It's brave of some people to do it when yeah, I'm just kind of going off the deep end, but it brings you into alignment of your, like, purpose, sort of, because it's hard to be in alignment with your purpose when you're not, like, when you're kind of depressed, you know. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to search for that, or you feel stagnant. And that's where the negative emotions come into play, which I think is really cool too. Like, I I really love the negative emotions too, because those are what like taught me how to get to where I am now, you know, being like stagnant. And that, I think that emotion is really good because it teaches you to go into a place that's not stagnant. Like, how are you ever supposed to feel not stagnant if you're not supposed to feel that first? But just cool, because that's why it's always not a linear path, you know. It's going to be a little bit bumpy at times, and it's going to go backwards, it's going to go forwards. You're going to feel this emotion. Oh, this emotion is going to lead me into feeling going into a better feeling place. So if I'm feeling stagnant, I go into a better feeling place. I want to feel more connected. I want to feel like I'm growing. I want to feel like I'm full of light, and and stuff like that. I want life to be easier and more effortless, and go into a place that's more a flowing state, you know, not just stagnant all the time. But that's kind of cool. Yeah, once I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted. I was like, oh, I want to be on this path of light, and I want to have a career that I'm really passionate about, that I love. And so your angels are going to lead you into a place, like a better environment for you to grow, probably. So that's what happened to me. Okay, you should go to this yoga retreat and go do this and just do that. And even though wasn't like super passionate about yoga, I was passionate about it, but it was just like, oh, so you could go to this yoga teacher training and you'll probably open up more, and it'll lead you onto a different path. So it's just kind of taking on different ways to get to where you need to go. It's not going to be straight there, this or that. And that's why I was like kind of confused at first. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to this yoga teacher training, and then I'm going to be a yoga teacher and all this, but that's exactly what it wasn't. That was just to get me out of like a more suffocating environment into a better environment, that I could grow more off of my own without different people that are around me that weren't, you know, very high vibrational. Oh, go to this place and maybe you can open up more and experience more of who you are. So that's what it was really cool. Going to that yoga teacher training really opened me up and taught me a lot about myself and all kinds of stuff. And then I was so stressed out at first, like, oh, I got to study the script and do everything. I was like, I don't know why, but my guides are telling me, I could feel it every time I would pick up this script. Oh, you're not supposed to read this. You're not supposed to, you know, like practice this or train this. They just wanted me to literally go to the yoga teacher training without practicing at all. And you were supposed to practice for like months ahead of time. I was like, I guess I'll just not practice, because every time I picked up the script or whatever it was, I feel like I couldn't, like my heart chakra closed down. I was like, okay. So I'm just going to go into this. I'm going to trust and allow my team just to help me through this. And that was the best thing. Like the first 2 days of the yoga teacher training, I was so nervous and timid, and everyone was like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know if I'm okay. But then when I finally let go and allowed myself to just be in the flow of things, okay, this is not that bad, and this is whatever. This is just life, you know. This is just nothing. Once I did that, I was like, it was so easy for me. Like, I was like, oh, I don't have to practice this at all or do any of this. I'm going to learn it on the fly or something. Like, it was just so, it made it easier for me just to have the confidence in myself, just to learn the material or whatever it was. I don't learn by reading things very well most of the time. I learn by like hearing things and seeing things. So once I actually saw the stuff happening, it was easier for me just to let go. And there was like yoga history lessons and all kinds of stuff. They were talking about Krishna, Lakshmi, and I thought it was really cool because, you know, every time they were talking about these different beings, like the energy would change in the room. It was really cool. I was like, this is awesome. Like, they're really supporting us and helping us learn this yoga and stuff. Like, and like everyone else was just like studying the script and so nervous and stuff. I was like, I'm just sitting back, just whatever. And I learned the entire dialogue so easily. I was like, once I let go and allowed myself to just learn, I think that was really important and easy for me. But I was freaking out at first. I was like, they're telling me literally not to practice at all. But it was okay. I never even ended up wanting to teach yoga anyways. So, but was really cool. That led me on a different path. And I think it is about having new experiences, because you need to open up and experience new things, especially, people my age. Just looking at a few different things to keep me on track. Ooh, thank you guys. I missed a lot of your comments. I'll get carried away a little bit. Yeah, I think, Alana, that's really good idea, is getting out of your comfort zone. Just throwing yourself into things, like even coming on camera and doing stuff. I know both of you and I are both doing that. Just getting out of your comfort zone just makes you grow. And that was the first thing that kind of made me grow, is going into this yoga retreat. But then when I finally just let go, it really helped me a lot. And I think that's important as well, not to just get out of your comfort zone and be in complete discomfort for the entire time. At least try to relax into it at a certain point. And that was just kind of a new thing to me. Yeah. I've always thought, like, sometimes, most of the time, I'm not even really knowing what I want sometimes, or what I want to manifest, but there are some things that I do know that I do want to manifest, and that's what when the angels come in, they'll help us manifest this in our reality. So if I want to have more love in my reality, based on love, and have abundance and things like this, I know it. I want to have this. I at least know I want to have this. Maybe not specifically I know what I want to have, but I want to be passionate about something, about who I am, about the things that I'm doing or creating. And I want to create something that's never been created, or create something that's entirely new, that not just trying to copy other people. Not that it's copying or improve on other people's things, maybe. Or sometimes I feel like I came here to create something entirely new. And I feel like we all did come here to create something new, and that's really what's cool about it. We have a lot of lifetimes to do that, though. Yeah, and being in a better feeling environment is one of the most important things that I never realized. I was like, okay, if I'm inside myself, if I create everything comes from within. I used to always say that everything, and that's true. Everything you create comes from within. Comes the light that you create within yourself will create into your outer reality. And that's what happened to me. I was like, oh, I want more of this in my reality. So but if you're in an environment that's very suffocating, you probably need to get out of that, and that's going to help you grow a lot more. That's very like asleep and stuff. So if you're going to say, oh, I want more of this, they're going to angels and your team is going to shift you out of this environment into a different environment that's like helps you grow as a person and stuff, which is really cool. And I didn't know that I was even in a suffocating environment, because sometimes you don't know what you don't experience, which is really cool. Yeah, I think that's really cool, Christine. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what joy and happiness are. Yeah, exactly. If your I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to throw my family under the bus, but sometimes that's what it's all about, is sometimes your family is not there yet. And that's okay. Everyone's been there and doing this, but sometimes you got to go off in a different direction, because your family's not going to go in that direction most of the time. Especially if you're like a light worker and the rest of your family's not, or if they're just kind of pretending to be light workers. Yeah, the stagnant type of energy is intense. Like, it can really stunt you, but at that point, sometimes you just gotta realize, oh, I think I'm just gonna throw myself into something that I make myself really uncomfortable, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to grow. Or maybe you don't throw yourself, you're just sitting in that stagnancy. Maybe that stagnancy is a catalyst to help you go into a better direction. So you just keep going down that hill, negative path a little bit, and then it awakens you because you hit kind of rock bottom for a little while, and it propels you into a different direction. So you're always going into the light. Most people just don't realize it. Like, most people are awakening, or everyone's awakening most of the time, is they just don't realize. Even when you go backwards, you're awakening more and more. But sometimes it just takes more time. But I want to get there faster than I was usually moving. I was usually moving like really slow, and that's okay. I want to expand faster, which is okay. You don't want to expand too fast because that can make you ungrounded, you know? I think it's important to stay grounded and on this path, because you can also kind of get too up in your head and, you know, just be like, it can be like a competition or something, or it's really stupid. It can be really stupid. Yeah, Tara, my family laughs at me too all the time. They think they don't understand it, which is really okay. I mean, I'm not trying to make everyone understand things, but if you're only around people that don't understand, you're like, it's kind of, I want to kind of be around different people, you know, and that's the fun part of it. Wait, that's most of what I wanted to say today. Yeah, but that's what's helped me, I feel like, the most, is just believing in the love in yourself, and just believing that, even that, just every day you're expanding and you're believing that love within you, and you're just taking on that vibration and wanting to manifest that in your reality. I think that's propelled me into so many things. Like, just having enough self-love to be able to go on this path has really helped me, and just gaining more every single day. And I think that's what's helped manifest my reality to something that I like, which not necessarily what everyone's gonna like, but that's what I think I like a lot of. And I really like emotions and things like that. Even if they're negative emotions, I like crying out the emotions, and that's important, allowing yourself to feel these emotions and the positive emotions, like allowing yourself to cry in those moments. And that's important. Like, even like my dad and so forth, and my friends and stuff, like a lot of guys, they just don't want to feel these emotions or don't want to cry. And I think crying is really important, and I honestly think crying is really fun, if that's the actual thing. But that's kind of weird. It's really weird, but it kind of feels weird. Just, it feels good to like feel an emotion deeply. That's what I've always thought. Like, I've always liked movies and things and experiences that make me feel something deeper than the surface of things. And I'm just like an emotional addict or something. But it's cool. I mean, you don't want to be too caught up in your emotions, because then you'll just kind of lose it all the time. But you want to have a little bit of a balance, because I know my friend, he was saying he's all logic, all analytical, and that's okay. I was like, and he's a big heart and everything, but he just doesn't know how to express it, which is okay. But it's like, yeah, I've been too emotional in the past, and like not used my been a little practical about it, you know, just like being all over the place. I mean, a little emotionally unstable, that can make you ungrounded. So it's important to stay grounded as well with your emotions. But yeah, I think that's the main thing that I was trying to say. Just being grounded with your emotions, going out on a tree, being in nature, helps you process your emotions more. Because you just don't want to be all over the place all the time. That's going to be intense. Then you won't be able to do anything. Yeah, and allowing yourself to be surprised. That's important. Yeah, women are lucky, but they've also, it's taken them, men have, sometimes the victim, and women have been a lot of victims in the past, and I think that's, like, they've been subject to abuse and other things. That helps them understand emotions better in the long run, I feel like. Because men are always, a lot of times they're the ones that are, you know, doing the abuse onto others, and that's can be pretty bad. Like, whenever someone, like, bullies you or something, you have more depth in you in the long run, I feel like, when you release that, of those emotions. But when you're the bullier, you don't really see it, usually. Even when you bully someone, you still learn a lot. But, yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to say today. I don't want to keep going on for too long, because this... Okay, well, thanks for coming on, guys. This is really fun. I kind of got a little emotional, but that's okay. And, see ya.